Assignment 2.3. This is my presentation on fatigue and recovery. Fatigue is when you are very physically tired and feel like you can't carry on. There are two types of fatigue. Psychological fatigue, which is aimed at the mental fatigue. For example, you are losing 35-10 in rugby with 5 minutes to go, and you start to think that you're not going to get back into it. And physiological fatigue, which is physical fatigue, where your muscles are tired and you struggle to move how you were before. For maximum intensity and short duration activities, there is a type of fatigue that is associated with it. This type of activity uses up the ATP-PC system to produce energy, and this leads to them being depleted, and this is because the activity is taken 10 seconds, so this no longer provides energy that the body needs to generate high force. Also, this exercise is anaerobic and a lot of fast glycolytic fibers are used up. As shown in the diagram, the PC depletion during exercise, and without this, the body struggles to provide for what the body needs. This can be reduced, as shown with creatine supplementation, which gives the body more creatine available. However, fatigue still happens, and there may be a reduction in the power output. Recovery. The recovery stage for this exercise is much longer, how it is in submaximal and steady state, as shown in the diagram of EPOC. There is a much bigger need for oxygen in the maximal intensity exercise, so there's a bigger oxygen deficit as the body needs the oxygen to work. But also the exercise is anaerobic, so there is lactic acid produced, so the excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, also known as EPOC, is much bigger in order to remove the lactic acid from the muscles. Part of the EPOC is the alactic phase of recovery, and this is the main part of EPOC needed for this. It lasts up to 2 to 3 minutes and uses up to 4 litres of oxygen and helps restore the myoglobin and hemoglobin. However, you may feel muscle soreness, or you may feel a delayed onset of muscle soreness. For moderate intensity and moderate duration, this type of exercise uses the lactic acid system mainly, as it is for something like the 400 meters, which lasts for about 2 to 3 minutes. Obviously, when using the lactic acid system, it produces lactic acid, and this contributes to the muscles feeling tired as the enzymes are being inhibited, so the lactic acid system can't be done, to be honest. This increases the pH of the body's blood, and shown in the lactate threshold diagram, as it starts to build up after a certain point. There is a technique called soda loading, which is something that helps lactate buffering and stops the lactate from building up in the muscles till much later on, so the threshold is much later on in the diagram. Soda loading is when you drink sodium bicarbonate a few minutes before the 400 meters event, but this may lead to vomiting and diarrhea afterwards, and only benefits events that last 1 to 7 minutes. For the recovery of moderate intensity and moderate duration activities, there are two parts of the EPOC that are needed, the alactic and the lactacid recovery. I've already explained the alactic. So the lactacid is the long part of EPOC, and this is for removal of lactic acid, as 65% of it is converted into pyruvate, 5% into glucose, 20% into glycogen, and the final 10% into proteins. This process takes around 1 hour, and uses 5 to 8 litres of oxygen. Also, there is a lot of delayed onset muscle soreness, and you can use an ice bath to cool the muscles down and relax them. Submaximal intensity and long duration fatigue. For this type of exercise, it uses the aerobic system, which is for like a marathon, for example, and there is a requirement for glycogen and oxygen to produce ATP, and your body becomes very fatigued as it starts to run out of their important components. Sometimes it turns to fat for energy, but this uses up a lot of energy, and so the main source for energy is glycogen. and this will eventually run out. So a strategy to use during the race or before the race is to stock up on glycogen using, as shown, fizzy drinks, well, not fizzy, energy drinks and glycogen gels, which you can just take during the race, which supplements your need for glycogen. And this provides you with more energy to keep on going during the marathon. For recovery, again, this is requires both parts of the EPOC recovery, and therefore, there is a big lactic acid build-up in the muscles, so you'll feel very sore in your muscles area, as shown by the picture, and by the end your muscles will feel very tired, and there will be a bit of an oxygen deficit for you as you need your oxygen as you use the aerobic system for a marathon, as it's very long distance and sub-maximal intensity. Recovery from this event is quite serious, as because your muscles can go very stiff, so there's a serious delayed onset muscle soreness. So sitting in a warm hot tub maybe can help the muscles warm up and stop them from stiffening up, as it could be painful the next day afterwards.